So let us know some of the things that we're going to see at this moment, please, Lieutenant.
So we have the President taking her position. She is accompanied by the Chief of Defense Staff, Air Vice Marshal Darrell Daniel. The parade commander, Group Captain Kemba Hannes, will now report to the President. She is on horseback, as you can see. The parade commander will report to the President. She will pay compliments to the President. A salute will be given, and on completion of that, we would hear the national anthem. Subsequent to that, we will have an inspection, which will be conducted by Her Excellency.
It is 61 years on the national anthem of Trinidad and Tobago.
Yes, a beautiful rendition played by the combined bands. We have the bands of the Trinidad and Tobago Regiment, the Trinidad and Tobago Prison Service, the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, as well as the Trinidad and Tobago Fire Service, who just performed so beautifully the national anthem of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. So at this time, Group Captain Hannes, she is reporting to Her Excellency, and she will invite her to inspect today's parade.
Is this the first time we're having a female Group Captain up here?
Yes, it is. So Group Captain Kemba Hannes is the commanding officer of the Trinidad and Tobago Air Guard. She is the first female officer to be given the portfolio as a formation commanding officer, as well as she is also the first female officer to command the Independence Day Parade in the 61 years since independence.
In 2001 as a senator, and was subsequently appointed vice president of the Senate.
Trailing the President's carriage, we have Group Captain Hannes as well as her aide, Squadron Leader Duki. So his role and responsibility, both prior and during the parade, is to provide that support to Group Captain Hannes as she executes her duties as the parade commander.
So the invitation has been given, so we're now having the inspection of the parade.
Yes, we are. So the President will inspect both the unarmed and the armed detachments on parade today. The front half of the parade, the armed detachments are located. So there we have the officers and the men and women of the relevant formations and units of national security to the front of the parade. To the rear half of the parade, they don't have arms. Those are the fire service, the prison service, as well as various youth groups such as the Pathfinders, the traffic wardens. They form part of the unarmed detachment. So the President will be inspecting both the armed and the unarmed detachments on parade today. And this is a great moment of pride for the persons on parade. To be part of an Independence Day celebration is a wonderful career highlight for all service personnel, and the sense of pride, the sense of dedication to duty is evident on this beautiful Independence morning. So as you can see, the President, Her Excellency, is inspecting the armed detachments. We have 2 detachments of the Trinidad and Tobago Regiment, 2 detachments of the Trinidad and Tobago Air Guard, 2 detachments of the Trinidad and Tobago Coast Guard, 1 detachment of the Trinidad and Tobago Defence Force Reserves, 2 detachments of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, and 2 detachments of the Trinidad and Tobago Cadet Force. well as Her Excellency will take their original positions. The parade commander will then request permission to carry on with the parade. She will then pass specific instructions to all detachments on parade, and we will see a march past taking place, where each detachment will pay relevant compliments in the form of an eyes right to Her Excellency, and then they would return to their positions that they would have taken up on commencement of today's parade. So as you can see, Group Captain Hannes, the parade commander, is taking her original position, while the President is proceeding to her position as well.
And once again, you can hear the crowd's appreciation for Her Excellency. as she is returning to her original position.
Parade commander has received the okay or the authority from Her Excellency to carry on with the parade. So she will now pass specific instructions to the detachment in preparation for the march past.
And there's always a thing of beauty looking at the precision of these maneuvers. Is one of the things that we really look forward to on an annual basis.
That is correct. Drill is a major part of the military. From basic training, from your first day within any military establishment, you commence parade and ceremonial training. It is said in training that the purpose of drill is to produce a serviceman who is proud, who is alert, and who is obedient, and is the basis of all teamwork. So today you will see those four attributes clearly manifested by the men and women on parade this morning.
And that is one of the reasons that it validates the comment that you said, that it is a highlight of any service person's career at this point in time to be a part of an occasion like this.
That is correct. And also the citizens as well. The citizens enjoy parades. They really enjoy seeing the members of their armed forces march either on the roads and on the route march, which is taking place later on today, as well as those persons here at the Queen's Park Savannah. So it's not just for the persons on parade, but also the citizens of the Republic who are always excited to see us, the serving members, executing these movements with the precision based on the practice and the hard work that would have been put in over their respective careers.
And we see some of these movements and maneuvers have started in the sense that they've turned right.
Yes.
And they're going to march past Her Excellency momentarily.
Correct. So the parade commander would have given them the word of command, shoulder arms, which means putting the arms in the weapons in an upright position, turn them to the right, and they are marching off respective to their detachment commanders, who will be calling the word of command individually for each department to step off.
So we take some of that in at this point in time.
Yes, we will.
is commanded by Acting Superintendent I. Edwards. Second in command, Acting Superintendent E. Todd. That's the Special Reserve Police. Detachment number 17 is followed with the Municipal Police. Superintendent L. Ayong. Second in command is Acting Superintendent K. Kelly Garcia. Detachment number 18, we have the Traffic Wardens. In command there is Supervisor C. Charles. Second in command, Traffic Warden 3A Ali.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated.
Detachment number 19 is the St. John's Ambulance Brigade. Following detachment number 19 is the Trinidad and Tobago Red Cross. In command of that detachment, we have Commandant T. Andrews. Detachment number 21, SYSP Milat. In command, we have Petty Officer M. Richardson. Second in command, Petty Officer B. Strong. And the Civilian Conservation Corps. In command, we have Petty Officer T. Alain. Detachment number 22, we have the Trinidad and Tobago, the Scout Association of Trinidad and Tobago. In command there we have Senior Patrol Leader D. Nanlal. Second in command, Senior Patrol Leader M. Jaikaran. Detachment number 23, we have the Pathfinders. In command, we have Regional Uniform Coordinator A. Mulrain. Second in command, Regional Instructor I. Murray. Detachment number 24, the Pentecostal Crusaders. In command here, we have Commissioner K. Alfred. Second in command, we have M. Kassar.
Marching on from your left, ladies and gentlemen, the K9 unit of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. The K9 unit is led by Sergeant Kurt Antwine. The second in command is Instructor Charles of the Police Academy. Dogs have been used in law enforcement from as far back as the 5th century, so it was only a matter of time before this trend was adopted by the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. Forming in front of you is the number 61.
Police Service K9 branch has come a long way from the days of Superintendent Thomas, who was fondly referred to as Dog Thomas because of his affinity for the K9, and Superintendent Hamilton Bridgman. They give outstanding and yeoman service to the K9 branch of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service.
Ladies and gentlemen, the K9 unit of the Trinidad and the Tobago Police Service.
Trinidad and Tobago Air Guard are about to make their way onto the parade shortly. Additionally, you will witness a drive past. So all of the assets, vehicular assets that are within the national security framework, they will be represented on today's parade. So I'm sure that the audience, both here at the Savannah as well as viewing, are looking forward to seeing the rest of today's proceedings and the splendor and the magnitude that comes with an event of such an auspicious occasion.
And it is really something because, and while we were seeing the detachments marching past, it is an honor to be part of the detachment. But the individuals who are actually holding the colors even more so.
Correct. The role of the colors officer is a very historic role. Traditionally, in the old days, you're looking at medieval times, the flag represented the regiment or the army that they would have represented, and capturing someone's flag was seen as an ultimate insult and a clear sign that you would have lost the war. So the protection of the flag still remains today. You see the colors on parade, and they are escorted by two individuals with arms.
And we see one of the assets that you would have heralded,
yes,
actually making its way over the parade ground.
Yeah, so this is one of the Trinidad and Tobago Air Guard's assets. Plays a major role within the national security framework of Trinidad and Tobago. So we'll be witnessing assets coming in shortly. And all of these assets play a very, very important role.
And part of the parade, like the fly past, when we have those explosions, also speaks to the discipline and the time and effort that would have been invested in the charges in terms of the mounts, the horses, the other animals, the canine unit, and it just speaks to that discipline that is a part of what it is we stand before at this point in time.
Yes, Vicky, that is correct. What you're seeing here, as simple as it looks, it would have brought together a wide variety of agencies, units, personnel who would have dealt with the planning, the operations, the security, the parade and ceremonial executions. So it's a lot of hard work, a lot of effort would have been put into today's activities.
And we have another asset?
Yes, so this is the Trinidad and Tobago Air Guard's B-0105 helicopter. It plays a major role in search and rescue operations as well as troop transportation within the national security structure of Trinidad and Tobago. And loud applause as always when the Air Guard flies past.
So it felt as though we just had a wave past as well.
Yes, we had a wave past as well. So it shows the skill and dexterity of the pilot on board, a citizen of our nation. So it also shows the standard and the quality of individuals within the armed forces. The level of qualifications, experience, and training that they undertake.
And we see two more approaches.
This aircraft is adorned with red, white, and black on today's Independence Day celebrations.
Definitely, we're seeing a lot of that this morning for obvious So we've seen airborne assets, and we are looking forward to others now that will be driving past, Lieutenant.
Yes, we are. So shortly, the parade commander will be executing some word of command. She'll be giving the troops on parade an order to go into open order. On completion of that, you will see the undertaking of the drive past of the various units of the national security structure and framework of Trinidad and Tobago, the defense force assets, police assets, fire, prisons. They will drive across the parade square for the audience's good pleasure this morning.
Describe a little more what you mean when you say open order, thank you.
Okay, no problem. So on the parade square, there are specific markings that each individual within the detachment is required to line off on. Open order, based on the marking, provides a bit more space between the ranks. So a close order march, which they would have done for the march past, they would have come into closer proximity to each other, both the rear rank and the front rank. In open order, they would spread apart a bit more. So that's a basic description. I'm using layman's terms as to how that is executed. I must say it's truly a beautiful day today, Nikki. A really wonderful day. The weather isn't too hot. I know we've been experiencing some really hot conditions. Pretty cool, and the persons on parade seem to be enjoying themselves, and the pride and distinction is being displayed at all by all persons.
Definitely, I think we missed a hot spell by one day with the weather, inclement weather on Saturday, but that weather on Saturday is not the weather that we're experiencing this morning.
No, it's not.
And we're very grateful for that.
Yes, we are.
Ladies and gentlemen, the motorized units of the Trinidad and Tobago Defense Force, protective services, and essential services.
other pieces of music that we've heard thus far on the square, musical emblems of Trinidad and Tobago, the more we are together. The arrival of the president was heralded by Chiconia, as well as Let's Build a Nation Together for the inspection.
Yes, the mass bands on parade today, they would have executed those songs so splendidly, and you would have heard the level of effort and skill that would have been displayed by those musicians. We have 4 bands joining together, forming the mass bands, the regiment band, the prison service band, the police band, as well as the Trinidad and Tobago fire service band as well. So an excellent display of musicianship today on today's Independence Day celebrations.
And we would have also heard some of the effort that goes into making sure that there is one complete and unified sound, with the previous conversation with Major Kester Francis, former Director of Music for the Trinidad and Tobago Defence Force.
Yes, Major Francis has played a significant role in the history of the Defence Force and the nation of Trinidad and Tobago with his skill and experience as a musician and as a former Director of Music. He would have laid the foundation to what we would have seen here this morning.
1851 and was utilized as the first postal service in Trinidad and Tobago. The duties of the branch include countrywide patrol duties in both Trinidad and Tobago, crop control duties,
protests and carnival celebrations, guards of honor, and escort duties to the president at parades and to dignitaries visiting the country.
The mounted branch is led by Acting Assistant Commissioner of Police, Wayne Meister.
This is always another beautiful part of the Independence Day procedure. We would have seen the K9 unit of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service execute their duties earlier on today. And now we have the mounted branch led by Assistant Commissioner of Police, Wayne Meister.
Acting Assistant Commissioner of Police, Wayne Meister, has a very unique tradition to follow. Mounted bands have stalwarts, for example, former Commissioner of Police.
I always marvel at the discipline and control of the horses, how they seem to operate specifically under the command of the persons in charge of them. And they always bring an excellent display of pomp and posterity to any Independence Day proceeding.
And also speaks to the skill of the riders as well, because we see, yes, they're using their legs, but they have one hand on the reins because the other hand is holding that lance.
That is correct. That is correct. Even the senior officers on parade as well, who would have spent time with the mounted branch getting prepared and ready to execute these duties. We have 4 officers on horseback today, from the parade commander, the parade second in command, Commander Zilman King, the parade adjutant, Major Benny, and the aide to the parade commander, Squadron Leader Buki.
Should we take in some of these maneuvers now?
Yes, we can.
As they facilitate tours and visits to schools, camps, and groups, providing riding courses for military personnel and civilians, as well as therapeutic riding classes for children with special needs.
Riding before you today is Acting Corporal Gelino, Woman Police Constable Blake, Acting Corporal Joseph, PC Maharaj, PC Bedo, PC Ramsamy. Standard bearer is Sergeant Philip. The bugler is Corporal Pavi. The 2nd Division Sergeant Thomas. WPC Fontaine, PC Lewis, PC Emmanuel, and the rear guard comprises of Acting Corporal Williams and Woman Police Constable Cordner. Ladies and gentlemen, the mounted branch of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service.
And let us please be reminded that they are providing the presidential escort for Her Excellency the President on what is her inaugural visit to the Independence Day Parade.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service Mountain Branch.
This morning, nodding their heads in approval.
One of the things that I always look at with the mounted branch is the control that they're able to hold over the mounts during the national salute. Definitely is something.
These horses are very, very well trained. Very well trained. I'm aware that even outside of ceremonial responsibilities, they often prepare them for loud noises and large crowds by simulating specific activities so that the horses will be accustomed to these type of occasions. So when you see them operate a certain way, it is because of the actual training that not just the riders go through, but the horses as well.
Definitely, work has gone, investment has gone into this, and even the level of training, we've been told this morning that they also help riding lessons for special needs individuals as well.
Excellent community engagement. So we'd have just witnessed the advance in review order. The parade commander would have given that instruction, and they would have made 14 marching pieces forward and halted. They are going into the shoulder arms position, and then we will hear the national anthem played.
Office holders.
Another beautiful rendition of the national anthem, followed by the 21-gun salute, which was fired in honor of the 61st anniversary of the independence of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago.
Okay, now we saw the order that the dignitaries would have arrived. Will it be the same order that they're leaving?
No, so they will be going now in reverse order. Her Excellency, the President, will depart first, and she will be accompanied and escorted by the mountain branch just as she arrived. And then subsequent reverse order of the departures will take place. The dignitaries will subsequently depart, and then the parade commander will order the final words of command for today's celebration.
As we see her on the monitor.
Yes, sir.
So what other signs mark the departure of the President, Lieutenant, in terms of, I believe there will also be a fanfare?
Yes, there will be a fanfare that will be played by the combined bands. This is a significant piece of music that only is played for Her Excellency.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the departure of our principal office holders.
The President departing on the special vehicle for today's ceremony, and again she is accompanied by the Chief of Defence Staff, the Vice Marshal Darrell Daniel, and escorted by the mounted branch.
His departure is followed by Prime Minister of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, the Honorable
Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley and Mrs. Rowley.
Good, that man is old, man. Old.
We now see the departure of Dr. the Honorable Keith Rowley, Prime Minister of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, and Mrs. Sharon Rowley, escorted by the Honorable Fitzgerald Hines, Minister of National Security, and the Chief of Protocol.
We next have the departure of the Chief Justice, Mr. Justice Ivor Archie, and Miss Archie. Mrs. Archie.
So in keeping with the departure in reverse order, we now see the Prime Minister and his wife departing.
You would have noticed service personnel accompanying each of the individuals. For the purpose of today's parade, all of the dignitaries have been appointed aides who hold the rank of captain in the regiment, lieutenant in the Coast Guard, or flight lieutenant in the Air Guard as their personal aides for today's activities. troops on parade holding true to form, maintaining that discipline and posture of excellence as we have seen since the commencement of today's proceedings, as we continue looking on at the parties of the dignitaries.
The Honorable Mr. Hines and Mrs. Hines.
So we are currently seeing the departure of the Chief Justice, the Honorable Mr. Justice Ivor Archie, or RTT, and Mrs. Denise Rodriguez Archie, they were escorted by the Honorable Fitzgerald Hines, the Minister of National Security, and the Chief of Protocol. Time now for the departure of the Minister of National Security. The Honorable Fitzgerald Hines, Minister of National Security, and Mrs. Margaret Hines are about to depart.
Was the issue to form in reverse order, so on commencement of today's proceedings we would have seen the Minister being the first arrival. As per standard protocol, as we would have mentioned earlier, they would have departed in reverse order, with the Minister of National Security being the final dignitary who will be departing. And then the parade will resume with the parade commander giving final instructions to the detachments.
So in terms of that march off, we saw the reverse order in departures. Will we see reverse order in the contingents?
No, we won't. So the armed detachments will stop off first, and they will be led by specific bands. So the mass bands will separate into their individual bands, and then they will march off of the square and proceed for the route march, which takes place through Port of Spain.
So we would have had some individuals of the wider public here at the parade ground, but there will also be individuals who are looking to see the parade marching through the streets of Port of Spain, and they go to the Ken Cook Field in St. James Police Barracks. What happens there?
So the route marches are a really great highlight. I think for the persons on parade as well, they always look forward to hearing the cheers of the individuals who would come out and support in their red clothing, waving flags and shouting and screaming in support. They would march to the police barracks in St. James, and their final instructions will be given. The parade is fallen out at that point in time, and that honestly signifies the end of the parade. However, being Independence Day, there would be a series of events and functions taking place in celebration of today's 61st anniversary.
So we see the contingent has turned to the right. What is happening at this point in time now?
So they would have given instructions to prepare for the march past or the march out of the Queen's Park Savannah. The officers, the commissioned officers on parade who lead the detachments, they would go to the front with the detachment commander going to the front, and the detachment second command going to the rear part of the detachment, and they will then be waiting for the bands to take their positions. The parade commander will then give the order to quick march, and they would exit the Queen's Park Savannah and begin the commencement of today's route march. The parade commander will give the order for the armed detachments to step off, and the parade second in command will give the order for the unarmed detachments to step off. So you can see the mass bands have been splitting up. This is the regiment band taking the lead, and they will lead the parade as we leave the Savannah and proceed on to the route march. Based on the individual detachments, various bands will intersect and will lead those areas musically.
This morning we will be part of the stand and order professional
Once again, as they are getting themselves ready to begin, we just see the talent and skill on display here, Independence Day, and it makes me remember the Edinburgh International Military Tattoo that we would have had representation at, showing what we are capable of as Trinidad and Tobago. And we're doing this today on the 61st of observation of our independence.
The Trinidad and Tobago Defense Force Steel Orchestra are truly ambassadors of Trinidad and Tobago. They always represent extremely well wherever they go, and that tattoo is a perfect demonstration of that.
Are we going to look at some of that demonstration right now?
For the big day itself, Independence Day Parade. The government of Trinidad and Tobago is profoundly indebted to those public officers who year after year work tirelessly towards the success of the Independence Day Parade effort. We are in that era, we are in that time in our lives where we need and we recognize the need for encouraging the youth. The Trinidad and Tobago Cadet Force led by its band and call drums under Captain Peter Sawyer, and the Cadet Force detachment under the command of Captain Hamlin Dipnarai. The Trinidad Cadet Force providing uninterrupted service from 9 outstanding young citizens for the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago.
Tobago Prison Service Band, led by Supervisor of Prisons Ricardo Hassan Ali. Ladies and gentlemen, they came all the way from Miaro. They are 52 strong, of young people ranging from age 11 to 19. Ladies and gentlemen, they are followed by the San Fernando District Scouts, Sea Scouts to be exact, and they all represent the Scout Association of Trinidad and Tobago. Put your hands together for the youth of our nation, ladies and gentlemen. They have worked hard for the last 8 weeks and they're out here sweating and toiling just for you. Still celebrating our youth is the Pathfinders Band going to pass before you shortly. These are all demonstrations of the fact that there are organizations out here that are putting in the work to groom young people to become responsible adults in society. They all are generally self-funded with some help, but they do need to be properly financed in order to make a bigger and better program. Still representing our youth, the Pentecostal Crusaders, bringing up the rear. Bringing up the rear on horseback is the parade adjutant, Major S. Benny. Ladies and gentlemen, the ushers amongst you will usher members of Parliament, senators, and members of the House of Representatives and the Diplomatic Corps at this time. Those persons with tickets and invitations for the toast to the nation will follow the departure of the members of the House of Representatives, Parliament, senators, etc., and the diplomatic corps. They would be followed by members of the judiciary. Those of us with tickets and invitations for the Toast to the Nation and choose to be transported by a shuttle, the shuttle will be outside. Those of us who choose to make the small trek across the road, please do so.
So we've just seen the march off of the parade ground. Lieutenant Valet, I want to ask you for your closing comments, like you.
Firstly, Dickie, I'd like to thank you for the opportunity for working with you today on this tremendous occasion. Today truly was a wonderful and an excellent display of patriotism, national pride and dedication to duty by all of the persons on parade today. And it is an honor to be here. It is an honor to celebrate the 61st anniversary of our independence. And to you, your family and the entire management and staff at the Trinidad and Tobago Television, happy Independence Day and all God's richest blessings to you as we continue as a nation to forge ahead. And I look forward to 62 and much more.
Thank you, and likewise, there was a certain contingent that was driving past and I saw you kind of lift up and square your shoulders. I won't say who it was.
Okay, all right. I'll have to...
But I see you had a little bit of, yes man, that's my crew, that's all my bad. But I want to thank you as well, Lieutenant Karen Valet. We also want to thank Major Kester Francis and National Scout Commissioner Mark Ainsley John. We invite you to stay tuned to TTT 8:30 to 9 p.m. tonight. We are going to show the very first Independence Day parade, and this is coming your way courtesy of the Information Division. So we say thank you as well to InfoDiv. Technical crew, we thank you very much for making this broadcast possible. I also want to selfishly take the opportunity to say happy birthday, TTT Limited. It is our birthday today, and last but not least, you, the viewers, thank you so much for tuning into the broadcast. This has been the Independence Day Parade 2023. Happy Independence.
The birth of TTT. On the historic birth of the sovereign state, the Trinidad and Tobago Television was born. TTT transmitted its services through two channels, TTT channels 2 and 13. TTT's origins trace back to the visionary aspirations of Lord Roy Thompson, a Canadian businessman. As TTT made its debut, its first broadcast featured nightly news readings at 7 p.m. Led by news anchor Mervyn Telfer, TTT's original management consisted of non-nationals who installed cutting-edge equipment and trained a local workforce. Formally inaugurated on November 1st, 1962, TTT rapidly became a focal point of the nation's cultural and informational landscape. TTT resonated with viewers through a multitude of captivating programs, from its flagship news program Panorama to engaging shows like Scouting for Talent, Mastana Bahar, 12 and Under, and Community Dateline. TTT embraced a rich variety of content that mirrored the nation's diversity.
thank you for watching TTT's coverage of the 2023 Independence Day Parade. TTT, live for local.